So I was going to do the monthly maintenance on my Loco griddle, just sort of brushing up the seasoning and making sure it's clean, etc. And I thought, well, I'll do a whole review on the Loco. I sort of did one in the past. It was more of a tour than a review because I hadn't had it that long. But I've had it long enough. I've cooked on it enough that I think I can do a pretty comprehensive review. So I think I'm going to do it while I'm actually going through my conditioning process, what I try to do once a month, at least during the season. I don't really do it that often when I'm not using it, but now that I'll be using it, we're going to go through that process. So this is a 3-burner, 36-inch griddle. I've got it all the way up, so each of the burners is on what they call sear, which is the next temperature after 500 or after 450 on the dial. Go ahead and put a infrared thermometer on the middle. It's been on for probably 5 minutes, not that long. So it's 394, 395, depending on, a little over 400. So, and it's still climbing. It hasn't been on long enough to get up to its final temperature. So as far as the temperature goes, as far as how hot it gets, I'm good with it. So let's switch to the other camera. Okay, so, oh, damn it. Okay, so after a battery change, we're back in action. So you can see the griddle is smoking, so it's definitely getting up to temperature here. Just burning off that residual oil. I'm getting 450 to 465. Chuck some spots around the edges. Doesn't get nearly as hot. 350, 380. On this side over here to almost 300. So there's definitely hot and cold spots. When I first got this, I was a little disappointed in that, but since then doing some research, I'm finding that, you know, the deal is every griddle has hot and cool spots and you just kind of get used to them. So I'm just making sure we have everything off here, all debris, all weeds in that case. So what I like to do is I use these shop towels. They don't leave debris. You know, paper towels will sometimes leave residue. These do actually do pretty well. I also buy from Amazon big industrial packs of lint-free washcloths. I happen to be out of them and they're on order right now, but I wanted to get this done, so we're going to use these shop towels. I use avocado oil. I wouldn't use animal fat of any kind. I wouldn't use anything that's got a low smoke point. Avocado oil has a higher smoke point, and I just give it one little bead right across the middle. Even that was a little too much, to be honest. And then I use tongs and wipe it around. So I like the size of this griddle, the 36-inch. I just wanted something bigger than I thought I might need for most cooks. So that's definitely not an issue as far as the size goes. I like it that it has a lid and it came with a really nice cover. So those are definite positives as far as I'm concerned. Always try to get back in those corners and along the edges where it's hard to reach sometimes, and then just let it keep smoking. And we'll let that burn off while we continue to talk about the griddle. This griddle has a paper towel roll holder, and it also has a trash bag holder, which if I was going to be using this all day long, maybe taking it to the ball field or something like that and cooking on it, those might be useful. As cool as I thought they were when I brought it home and saw all of that, I just never use it. So there's nothing wrong with it, but you know, If it costs me $50 extra, I'd rather have the $50. But I guess, you know, it came with it, so that's a good thing. I just don't use it, like I said. I have no particular script for this. The grease trap, is about an inch square hole here in the lower left-hand corner, lower left as I'm looking at it. I don't love that. I've seen the Blackstones that sort of have the larger funneled grease trap in the back. I would much rather have a system like this. There's really no great way to get stuff to feed into there. You know, I just end up pushing it in. It's kind of tedious. And maybe it wouldn't be that much better on a Blackstone the way they do it, but it seems to me like it would be. So I don't love the way they catch the grease and debris here. I just feel like it's inconvenient and doesn't work that well. That being said, the actual grease trap is a pull-out container, and it's enameled and it's great. It cleans up so easy. I don't even worry about putting anything in here. I'm sure I could get something or even cut down a foil pan from my pellet grill catch, and even if I had to cut it, it would fit in here just fine, but I don't need it. I don't want it. This works great. I love it. So that's one thing that's a good thing. This comes with a nice cabinet underneath that is cool to have, but much like the paper towel rack and the trash bag holder, I don't really use it that much. It does contain the propane tank, holds it in there well. I got no complaints there. Of course, this does need to be plugged in because of the temperature controls. Now, I kind of assume it could be lit. I could be wrong about that, but I assume you could still use it. You just wouldn't be able to use the smart temp. You'd kind of have to just judge it. But I actually have never tried. I always just plug it in. The cool thing about this, it's got a Sure Spark electronic ignition. No idea what that is in reference to. I mean, I know what it's in reference to. I have no idea if it's anything special, but it has never failed to light. I do love it for that reason. Let's get a temperature now, right dead center of the grill. 474 right now, so that's pretty good. I think it'll even get hotter. So we're gonna do another coat of oil now. So I'm gonna get a new set of paper towels ready and get them rolled up. So I heard somebody say once, and I've always tried to do it like this, for cast iron or this griddle top, is use a lot less oil than you think, and after you do it, clean it up like you spilled it accidentally. So I have no idea if that has any truth to it, but that's the way I've always done it. And my griddle top, I wouldn't call it perfect, but it's maintained really well. Got a nice finish on it. So we're just going to go through this again. I'm probably only going to do 2 layers today. So this will be the last one, and then I'll show you the final thing that I do. I brought this forward from charcoal, or not even charcoal grills, gas grills in the past. But I do it with charcoal grills and a lot of other things, and I do it on the griddle too. And I will show you what that is. So getting those corners and edges. And by the way, I just do this with tongs. I don't feel like I can be careful enough to not end up scorching a finger or a thumb or something. So I always use tongs. But those shop towels I think work really well. All right, so here's the last thing we're gonna do. This I am gonna use a glove for. I tried to do what I'm about to do with like a fork, but it just doesn't work as well. This isn't any kind of heat glove, but at least it will stop me from totally getting scorched. But I've got half of an onion. Doesn't matter what kind of onion here, but I'm just gonna rub this straight on the surface of the grill. And it smells great, first of all, but that's not why I'm doing it. This will add a nice protective layer. The sulfurs, as I understand it, within the onion that will come out as you rub it on the griddle will add a nice protective layer and give your griddle a nice finish. I think it works really well. It works on other kinds of grates too, you know, gas grill grates, whatever. It's a great way to kind of clean them off and get them ready for a cook, or like what I'm doing here, do every now and again maintenance on your grill. You could certainly just cook a load of onions on your griddle too, but I like this way. And there we go. So I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to cut it off here. But if you have any questions about the Loco griddle, my thoughts on it, something I didn't cover that I should have, and I'm sure there's a lot, let me know. And we will see you next time at BuQeye Barbecue. Thanks for joining. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.